you guys enjoy it as much as I did sitting down and creating and scoring this one-of-a-kind film and soundtrack. So enjoy. Thank you very much.
good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I want to say welcome to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm saying for myself, my name is John, they, them. My name is Blazing Space. That's what I make art under anyways. I want to say from myself, Blazing Space, from Astral Media Lab, from Weird at Night, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. Go ahead and click the follow on whatever channel you're watching on, because this is going to be amazing, and you deserve to have more amazing things. This has been a hell of a year to get through, and you all deserve love, and I love you all. So right off the bat, we're about attacking with love, and art is the antidote. This is what we're all about here at Weird at Night. But tonight we are kicking it off first with The Lab, an Astral Media Lab video podcast series that was inspired by Coffee Talk, created by Kristen Coleman and Mark Tullos, two super badass filmmaking artists out of Chicago. So much love to Kirsten and Mark. Mark tragically passed away last year, and every one of these that we do is in dedication to Mark. Every light that I shine is in dedication to Mark. Mark Tullos and Kristen, I love you both. Thank you so much for inspiring this. And I want to send a special thank you to Carlos Tullos and Allison Tullos, who are the owners of Astral Media Lab and really behind making this happen. There's some other people involved too, and you'll see that in the credits, and love to everyone involved. Thank you so much. So I hope you're smoking, I hope you're drinking, and if you're not smoking or drinking, congratulations. Love to all my sober people. This is not an easy time of year. Oh, joining the tub. Well, that's done. But you know what makes me feel better about this? NOSRETEP. The fact that y'all are about to see some badass shit. Igor Abuladze, Mike Peterson, and Andy Sells are some of the funniest and most talented musicians in Seattle. There's no even point in trying to describe their sound except to say that it is intense and creative. And you are going to have a wonderful time learning about them. Carlos Tullos did this interview, and as I said before, so much love out to you, Carlos. I think this is a phenomenal interview. It was recorded pre-COVID as well as these performances. So if you don't see everybody in hazmat gear, it's because we didn't have a pandemic yet. This is from a couple of years ago. And that's what The Lab is. So The Lab is a video podcast series from our archives. Astral Media Lab has been making films in Seattle for 3 years now as Astral Media Lab. Myself, I've been living in Seattle for a decade, and when I first moved here, I started filming bands for Cat Pack Records. So you're talking about 10 years and further. You know, Carlos and Allison were involved in this scene many years before me. So, you know, almost 15 years of Seattle history coming out in these lab episodes. So they're interviews that we've done and special live performances we were able to film, specifically to archive and later show to the public, and highlight beautiful artists that we know. Of course, you know, in episode 1, we featured Noel Brass Jr., episode 2, Purgato, and episode 3, Planet Booty. And now this episode, NOSRETEP, is very special. I love how in the interview, Carlos, Andy, Igor, and Mike, they all get really into their sound and how they create it, what equipment they use. You get to see it. Mike takes you on a tour of his house, which is a super cool space. And I'm just so happy to share this art with y'all. This is an easy time of year and time during the pandemic to feel completely alone and lost, and I just want to say, I see you. I feel alone and lost and depressed and angry as fuck at this greedy system, this greedy white supremacist racist system. Black lives matter, Black trans lives matter, Indigenous lives matter, and let's not forget about our murdered and missing Indigenous women, of which there are far too many. There's so much work to be done, and I know everyone watching has space in themselves to do some of this work, because we are human beings together. We are one with the universe, and that oneness itself is compassionate, I believe. So I just want to say, attack with love, stay strong, keep making art, Keep sharing art. Don't be invisible to the people you love. Ask for help when you need it. If you need Astral Media Labs help, if you need Blazing Spaces help, if you want to be on Weird at Night, please reach out to me, reach out to Patrick, reach out to Carlos. Astral Media Lab, weirdatnight@gmail.com. These are all ways you can get a hold of us. But, you know, our friends NOSRETEP are really the stars tonight, and we are going to get to see some amazing musicianship. And a little help on the visuals that aren't Blazing Space. So shout out to you, Chris. Thank you so much for rocking that. And this is going to be a beautiful night of art sharing. Stay tuned after this episode of The Lab. Weird at Night is going to be live at midnight. This is a 2-hour extravaganza. So much art, so many reveals. I'm stuck in a black and white world called Noir Land. But to find out more about that, you'll have to keep watching to Weird at Night. So, once again, I love you all. Mark Tullos, this is all for you. And let's rock out with NOSRETEP. Thank you all so much.
Oh, it might be where you come from. If where you come from cast a bright light on your news trucks that you made up. Oh, it might just wear you down if your love rubs up on the piss ups and the give ups. Always mix it with the good ones. What green lawn switch sticks in Green Bay? Real high class but my sweaty haze of summer. Sweet Jesus, don't eat all the money. I'm just seeing another speculation. Playing shadows with our masters of the suburbs. We're the masters of the suburbs.
I'm Igor Abuladze, and I play guitar.
Mike Peterson, drums.
Andy Sells, I play the bass guitar.
Tell me about the conception of NOSRETEP. How'd you guys come together?
How did we come together? We were working together at the Seattle Drum School back in, we'd worked together for a couple of years, but we started playing back in 2011.
Yeah, 2011.
So, I mean, you guys had a thing going, right?
Yeah, we kind of had a band going, but...
You could talk
With
about
Jeff Cook on bass.
Yeah, Jeff Cook on bass.
What was that band?
Red. Yeah, it was Red, wasn't it? And then, it's kind of like, we just didn't want to play covers and stuff like that, and so let's do something else. And he's like, let's get Andy on bass. I'm like, hey.
We tried all kinds of different stuff with Jeff.
Yeah.
We even played that Alan Holdsworth tune.
It was kill.
It was awesome, and some original music, and it looked like there are two bands in that one band. So
Yeah.
What became of it?
Me and Jeff started the Red Classic Rock Trio with drummer Reed Whitwell, and me and Mike started looking for a bass player, and we found Andy.
Yeah. He wasn't even playing bass either.
I wasn't really a bass player. At least I didn't know I was.
We just loved
He's
him.
very shy, but what I heard, I did not know it was Andy. I was passing by the Seattle Drum School. I was passing by downstairs, and the room was on the second floor, and I heard the bass playing.
No shit.
Very funky, and I really liked the timing. And I was like, who is it? So I went up and opened the door and looked, and it was Andy playing with his student.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I went to Mike and I said, did you hear Andy playing bass?
Yeah. I was like, no way, dude. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That's how
okay.
it
I
all
was a
started.
closet bass player for a while.
Yep.
Do you guys all know each other from the drum school? Or are you all at teaching?
Well, I mean,
Yep.
I think that that's pretty much how we know each other. Mike and I had met through the music scene a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Through, I think, John Wicks, maybe.
Yep, do
On
Wicks,
some
yeah.
gig that we had at the Sunset. Remember the one we did at the Monday nights in the early 2000s with John and Michael Stegner and Joe. And, yeah, that one.
We were doing Sunday nights there.
Right. And so Peterson came down and played a gig, and that was the first time I met him, and I fell in love right away. I was like, I love this man. He's amazing. Because I think that night, I think that's when I saw you probably do the one-handed roll on the tom, like wipeout really fast while you shotgunned an entire beer with the other hand. So that's probably like that was early 2000s. I would say it was like 2003 or 4.
I never got up
Yeah.
to the 6. I was trying to get up to 6 beers.
So then when I found out I was working with you, when Wicks left town and I got the job through him at the drum school, and then I had the room next door to you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so we would talk at the drum school,
Yep.
and I was really into like Afrobeat and drum and bass and all this stuff, and I would always play the breakbeat stuff and be like, hey, check this out. And you'd be like, oh, cool, check this out, and show me some other stuff that was like some crazy, off the wall, like fake double bass stuff. Yeah, we just
hit it
we
off.
kind of hit it
man.
off, and then
You was doing crazy shit too,
we
man.
were just
Oh
doing
my
weird
God.
shit and bouncing stuff off each other, but as drummers.
Big time.
And then Igor, remember when we met at the drum school originally, I saw Igor had a King Crimson shirt on. I was like, oh, I like that band. And so we just started talking because of that. But we weren't friends. We didn't know each other through music previously. But
Right.
we just got nerdy really fast. So that's how we met.
Yeah, our mutual curiosity was based on the fact
Oh, yeah, the song, yeah.
how to find one in this song.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
which song we were talking about?
Oh, it was the cigarettes, ice cream, figurines of the Virgin
Yeah,
Mary,
yeah.
whatever that Starless.
Great Deceiver.
Oh, Great Deceiver, yeah, which is that's like one of my favorite Crimson songs.
I was
It's funky
walking.
too. It's a funky
That
Crimson.
middle part is really, really funky there.
Yeah.
I was walking
And
by
we've-
using the can.
Yeah.
I was using the bathroom, going by, and he's recording one day.
Oh yeah, I
his hair
made
pulled
a.
back, and you're like, you're pissed off as well. What the hell? And you're like, you can get this part right. I'm like, who's this crazy dude, man?
Yeah.
And then it was him.
It kind of evolved. We
Yeah,
started jamming. We did not know what it's going to be.
No,
We're just having fun.
The way I see it, when I remember those days, the early days when we started playing together, each one of us had some unreleased energy inside, and we tried to help each other to put that energy into a sound.
Yeah, no
That's
doubt.
good.
And whatever that sound is, it's not important what you're playing, not important what key it's in, or do you know that scale or whatever. We're just like unleashing the fury, and that I think it was in a way very healing for me as a musician.
Me too.
Because as a musician, you kind of expected to follow specific criteria.
Or someone's gonna hate it. Or,
You're gonna know how to play this, and there's like a lot of expectations whenever you get on stage or you get in a recording studio or meet with some other musicians. And all of a sudden here, I didn't even, for a while there was some blues licks that I was throwing in here and there, but then I realized that this is not the right place for it.
Yeah, you just knew after
And
a
it
while.
was no desire to do it ever again. It's not like because they didn't like it or something. It was just like naturally it involved in some specific sound that we can say, hey, that sounds like NOSRETEP.
Yeah.
And we don't know what it is.
I know.
I was gonna say, I think we get a kick out of making stuff that freaks us out a little bit, or we're like, holy crap, like something, like where did that come from?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I feel like we've had it many times where we just stop and we're just like, what? What did we just do? Or like we felt like we were in a trance, or we got set into some psychedelic, like jettisoned into some other reality just by the fact that we were working over and over again on something that almost seemed impossible.
Yeah,
So
I
we're
know. It's really
we're
hard.
trying to make. Actually, we're not trying, and that's the cool part. But we're coming up with this stuff that we have no idea where it's coming from, and when it's good. I mean, I suppose any artist could say that, right? They're like, I don't know where it came from. It just dropped out of the sky. But
channel.
we seem to have enough moments like that that are really cool, and it makes it special. So it makes it easier for us to want to get together every week. And when we don't get together, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, I didn't have my
Something is
meditation
missing
session, or I didn't
in
go
life.
swimming, or I didn't go running. Like I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's cool.
I felt like
It's
shit.
like an oxygen.
Yeah,
like
for me,
a
I
week
felt-
without
yeah.
rehearsal, and I'm
I felt
dizzy.
really bad, and then afterwards, I've had some terrible things going on in life, and I've come over here, and afterwards, it was like a cleanse. You know, I'm like, oh,
Our music, man. No shit.
yeah. So it's pretty special.
No, I'm not afraid to bring anything out. Like if I got an idea, whatever, I'm going. In the past, working with cats, you're like, you know, people are gonna go, what the hell, and I'm whatever. But I'm going, no, this is it, and they'll be like, that's cool. Let's check it out. You know, I like that.
There's a lot of room for everybody's own expression because we are all so different. And I mean, musically, like we're all pretty different in a lot of ways. But I think that everybody makes room for each other, and that's cool.
See, I'm a really good singer, so I'm.
He is. He can sing really
I
high.
can't wait to start singing my singing debut.
Tell him to go away song.
I will clear the place in 5 seconds.
It's not true. You have a really nice, beautiful voice, Michael. He's an angel.
You guys
Shut up.
brought Andy in, and then you would come here.
Yep.
And then, I mean, the songs are pretty involved, like long parts, changes, pretty drastic shifts from section to section. How do you guys like jam, record? What's the organizational process of?
Yeah, recording on tapes. I got
You
tapes.
notate it all?
Yeah, no, just tapes. So we'll just go through things. So then we'll edit it. Like we'll go like, you know, that's too much now. So getting lame or whatever, and take a part out. Like tonight we're doing something 2 times. So we're like, oh, let's try it 3. With a 4th. Oh, that's way cooler and whatever. It's like just editing back and forth, you know, like that in our minds. But just we keep jamming on shit. These guys, they'll play stuff for a long time while I'm messing around or
A lot of it's getting those riffs right, like the stuff that we glom onto, and then we sort of take stuff out, or a lot of times we'll make something one way and then we'll try to mess it up a little bit, or we'll make something and then okay, let's continue that while Igor writes a bunch of stuff over the top of it. There's that happens too.
That's pretty crazy.
And I would say the funny thing that I mention every time is a lot of times I'll write something not meaning to write something, and they'll go, oh, that's cool, but then I forget it. I forget it instantly. This happens all the time. I just have no short-term memory. And Igor is amazing because his memory is rock solid. Yeah, so basically, well, I think it happens with you sometimes
That's
too.
why I recorded right
Yeah,
off
so
the bat.
Igor's like the conductor. He'll basically be able to tell you back what you did, and I'll have no recollection of it. And I think that happens a lot.
He comes with rad stuff, man.
I'm stream of consciousness.
Yeah, very often, our songs begin with Andy playing something, and me and Mike kind of look at each other and okay, and sometimes we play for 5 minutes or 7 minutes, and we realize that where Mike hears one,
that's
not
the
where I
funny
hear
thing.
one,
Yeah.
and then we
Never
realize that Andy's one is someplace
Mine's
else.
usually on to eat.
Dude.
So that's really tricky, and we have
It's
to kind of
ridiculous how
agree.
insane
Well,
that is.
where is one? Okay,
where we
let's count
fight.
from here.
fight
That's
about
what
it.
gets weird.
What's been played is like that's the proof that it's not important to know where one is. If it sounds good, it sounds good. You know?
Try to search it at the same time. Go all right.
You know, when I listen
Check
to
this
some
out.
King Crimson,
What?
I listen to some King Crimson music and I have no clue where one is. You know, and
it's the
some
opposite of
songs are in
funkadelic.
5, but you hear the music, you know, and it's just like.
How do you spell Bootsy backwards?
So then does that mean there's a process of reviewing the tape and analysis?
I do.
Do you guys do that together, or
Very often.
Lab coats.
so you guys record
I'll do
every
that
time
too.
you jam,
Pretty much.
and then do you have a separate session that's like?
Actually, you know, a lot of that's you, Mike, though. Because we'll record a bunch of stuff, and Mike's got his, like, mad scientist set up with all the loopers and everything else. So a lot of times we'll do something, and Mike will find this gem and be like, hey, let's do that again. And then we'll take, like, 17 practices trying to figure out how it was we did what we did.
Yeah. I know.
But he gets the stuff that's really cool. Like, we had one where we were just, like, improvising. Like, what is it? Our song, Burning Apple.
Yeah.
Right? We were completely just going for it. Just completely just going off. And then Mike found the best stuff, and he's like, okay, let's figure out how to do this.
So this is a recording studio also, or are you just using like a recorder?
I'm just this in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on my tapes. I just got cassette tapes.
That's cool. And so,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
when these guys leave, do you like sift through the?
Yeah.
He's actually very good with going through tapes and finding because sometimes we forget, and we come back to the rehearsal, and he's like, "Listen to this."
This
And we're
guy's
like, "Is this
this
us?"
guy. We had to give him a computer, and he still doesn't use it,
He's just too confused.
and or a cell phone or any of that stuff.
The thing is that we never actually tried to fit in any of the categories. No matter, I like the category. I would like to be fit in the category, say heavy metal. But are we heavy metal?
I mean, when you have to do
It's
all
hard,
that, when you have to do all the like booking, bio stuff, what do you guys?
We're a little
What do you
lazy.
call
We're a
it?
little lazy on some of that stuff.
I know, man.
Honestly,
I discovered that our music sounds different depending on which band we're opening with.
Yeah.
Open for. Sorry, which band we're open for.
I think about that stuff all the time, though. Context and like,
you know,
depending on the light, depending on what's going on, where you are,
because
who
it's a
you're
different set of
around, yeah.
people who
It
come
is.
to see the last band.
Yeah.
It's all
And because of that
expectation.
people, the music changes. And that's beautiful.
does,
Well,
it
the room
does.
is always. I think the room is always
The
like.
room is
it's
also
always
very
going to
important.
change. The
What you ate
how
on
it's
that day is
perceived.
important. Everything.
Yeah.
How you woke up.
If you go like
But,
this or not.
I think the main ingredient is the audience. Audience make this whole thing complete.
Yep.
Right.
When someone listens, especially the fresh set of ears, I love that.
How did you meet Mike? How did you guys know each other?
Through drum school.
Yeah.
I was taking a year-long course there in 2006.
As a student?
I wanted to become a drummer, actually.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
For the
He is
whole
a
year, I
drummer.
was obsessed with drums and learning how to, tune them and bought a lot of drum sets and restored them.
And was Mike your teacher?
Mike was a
Our father.
teacher in the school, but I didn't take. My personal instructor was Mike Stone for a year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Stone.
It was a very good program. And even though I didn't become a drummer in the end, I met all these wonderful people who I still,
Big time. You wouldn't.
yeah, so many connections.
And the people you hate too.
And I still work there as an instructor myself.
Yeah. It's cool, man.
How are you? You guys are not all Seattle natives, or how long have you guys been playing in the scene here, like independently, not necessarily with each other, but
85, I guess, me.
I moved to Seattle in 2006
From?
from San Francisco.
okay. And why did you choose Seattle?
There was a community of guitar players that spawned from the Guitar Craft, which was a school that Robert Fripp started in 1986. And the way school functions is they put on a course, and on that course you just meet all these great people and communicate, and you cook meals and you clean the restrooms and you play guitar.
So did you?
And all these wonderful people, for some reason, were drawn to Seattle area. So Seattle kind of became one of the centers in USA for the crafties. They call themselves crafties. And I was one of them at some point, and I decided that it's time for me to join.
And the crafties, meaning disciples of Fripp, is that what that?
Disciples, nobody thinks of them as disciples of Fripp, but they all are disciples of Guitar Craft, the school that he began.
Which is like more specifically avant and pushing creative boundaries, or what
The
defines?
foundation of that whole thing was Fripp discovered a new tuning, and he calls that new standard tuning. So guitar is tuned differently, and old chords don't work. So old licks that you know, when you arrive to the course, you retune your guitar. In early days, you did not know what the tuning was, so strings would break and all that. But everything that you knew before, out of the window. You begin where you are, from the ground zero.
That's crazy, dude.
And I was obsessed with this tuning for a long time. I still am. I still continue to compose and write in this tuning, but in NOSRETEP, I don't use that tuning.
And then you came to Seattle, and were you playing in bands right away?
Not right away. Right away, I joined the project called Tuning the Air, which was the reason for me to moving up. It was basically acoustic guitarists sitting in a circle where audience was sitting in the middle.
Oh wow.
It was phenomenal, and that made me move up here. And leave everything in San Francisco and move up here. That was the only reason.
Were you part of that? I remember Chris Mort. You guys know Chris Morta?
Yeah, I know Chris.
Yeah, I forgot about that cat, man.
I don't.
There was like a whole scene of people who were really into just intonation. Were you part of any of that? Where it's not A440, but like a mathematically square tuning not like the well-rounded clavier or whatever, where like the pitches are kind of rounded, but like a real physics, mathematic, precise tuning. It sounds real strange because our ears aren't used to it. Were you ever part of that? No. Okay.
No.
Guitar. I remember him. He made that crazy guitar though. Yeah. Remember that? Remember that party or something? I think we played that party. Me and you and I think I don't know who else. He had a crazy guitar, man. I was like, he was.
Maybe it was before 2006, and
yeah, it could have been.
because I moved up here in 2006. So.
And then let's just get like a little bit of like band history. Like, give me some of your bands that you've played in over the years.
You know what's funny, real quick? Like the first prog. I hated the word prog, dude. I thought this was just like music that's just different, man. Like Holdsworth and stuff. I'm like, what is this? But my first one was King Crimson, you know, that Discipline, you know. And here you're playing with doggone Fripp, but that's pretty weird. That album was rad. Bruford. Yeah.
Right.
Big influence, man. I love that cat.
Is that how you came up? Like in that school of drumming?
I kind of, man. I was like, I don't know, man. I was like,
I hear a lot of Bill Bruford in your
I would
playing.
say I hear it. Yeah, you got
Bill
some
Bruford.
Bruford in there, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I love Bill Bruford's playing.
Dude, for sure, man.
So are you a Yes guy too?
Yeah. You know, just when he was with him, you know, just
He's a yeah guy.
Just these guys. You know, I only like get an album and
No,
you get.
I like
you know,
them.
I like that No band, you know. No, but I just get a record and an OD on it, and then like Fragile has all of this and do, and then that was it for Yes, you know. And then moved on to something else. But anything Bruford was doing, I had all his stuff though. I got all his stuff.
I think the first time I saw you play was at OK Hotel with Very Special Forces.
Oh yeah.
And,
Tim Young and those cats.
Yeah, and that you guys played Asteroid. You remember that?
Put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. Yeah, Asteroid is the best song ever, dude.
And you guys had tell us about that crazy prop that you had rigged. Do you remember that?
He's like Nardwuar, dude. He's digging.
the big app with the big planet, with the planet and stuff like that.
It was like a foil
planet
ball that slowly came on like a pulley. It was like B movie.
It was like bad, from the Final Tap.
Yeah, it was like
it came down.
It was like all the smoke and who was in
for the end of the song.
Who were the guys in that band at the time?
Yeah, it was Brad. Brad was sung Brad Mullen. I've known Brad forever. Played with him. Man, I love that cat.
Man,
and he was in it. He got me in the band, you know, because I guess Dave couldn't do it for a little while or something. The drummer, and Dave's awesome. And then Paul Moore, you know, and then Tim Young, you know, and then Scott Bell, and then Scott Bell. Me and Scott Bell and this other cat started another band, Apes of Wrath, with Brad. You know, that was a pretty badass band and never really got going too much, but anyway, yeah, that was a great show, man. Playing with Tim was fun, dude. He would crack up, crack me up.
Who were your early Seattle bands?
Oh, me? That I was in? Mm-hmm. Well, I was in a few. I was in a band called Christopher Robin. That's a really funny name, and it's funny because it was a hardcore emo band. And it was one of the first bands.
Being
it was
ironic?
called Screamo.
Winnie the Pooh.
Well, I mean, they called it that later. It was like 1994. We put out a 7-inch that was hand silk screen on a paper bag. Came out on a California label. And it was, we really wanted to sound like this band called Heroin and these Gravity Records bands. But anyways, I was part of that kind of like hardcore punk scene for a little bit. Yeah, playing drums. And then I was in some indie rock bands. The band Focus North for a long time. That sort of gained a little steam and put out a whole bunch of records. That was probably the band in Seattle that I did the most with. Mm-hmm. And then I played with, singer-songwriters. Michael Stegner was in Cascadia 10 playing some Afrobeat stuff for a while. I'm in Afro Cop.
Isaac? What was that thing called?
Oh, that was just a short. That was just a tour. Oh. That was just Isaac Brock's Ugly Casanova. I did a tour as a drummer, but that wasn't my band. I was in a band called Area 51 that put out punk records.
Oh, really?
And those guys became a band called Murder City Devils later on. Yeah, it was
forgot about
that
that
was
shit.
about 94, 95.
And you still do stuff with them, right? Or,
Yeah, I sometimes fill in on keys for Murder City. And then Spencer, the singer, and I have a band together with this kind of out. Joel Coupland, Spencer, and I have a band.
oh, really?
So it's pretty crazy stuff. I would say, actually, yeah, when we started playing, I definitely was trying to channel some of that no music, no kind of bass. In the Minutemen, I was a big Watt fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was super into punk funk, so anything that was funky and punky, I gravitated towards. But then a lot of the bass lines too, because I learned how to play a bunch of Afrobeat stuff. So I learned a bunch of Tony Allen grooves and things like that on the drums, but I also learned the bass parts at the same time, and I'd play those with students and things like that. So that made its way in too. And I think learning a bunch of the Afrobeat stuff, those bass lines a lot of times don't start on the one. So since I sort of just kept playing those, kept learning them, I approached the bass in sort of a different way. That's just one example of something that affected me. So I guess it's modern. It's going on now. Tony Allen's still playing. I ripped off some of those bass lines and changed them and whatever like we do. But
he's a gifted multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah, the band to me sounds like it sounds like you're all drummers. Like
definitely all drummers.
The rhythmic concept.
Yeah,
The other thing that's kind of interesting about you guys is the complexity doesn't feel cerebral. Like
it's kind of like what Tommy said.
It feels man. You know how there's a lot of bands who have, for lack of a better term, like a math rocky, proggy quality, but it feels very sterile sometimes.
Exactly.
You guys somehow manage to always find the meaty groove or the I don't know, it doesn't feel like you're all sitting there counting.
That's the best compliment ever.
Yeah, it's pretty nice,
brother.
I think we can all sit in the groove at a totally different place, like you're saying, not know where one is, but we can all comfortably sit in our own grooves.
Yeah.
And with each other at the same time, so I think that makes a big difference because we're all drummers, like you said.
Yeah. In 99% of the cases, when we play something in odd time, we don't know it's an odd time. We have to listen back to a tape and realize it's an 11.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Igor, what's it in? He'll tell us.
Yeah, he usually tells us. It's like the conductor.
But interesting thing is, we're not trying to necessarily go on time.
Right.
If music calls for it, we'll follow.
You guys just have good internal melody singing or something.
There is something like a motive that we kind of discover all together while playing off of each other.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's
good
like,
Patterns.
let's say Andy started a theme, and then Mike follows him, and I'm listening to what they're doing, and I'm trying to first hear instead of just putting my hands and start fishing. I always try to first to hear in my head, is anything beautiful happening out there in the sky? And if I say, I just like quietly, okay, there it is. And I'm like, where the fuck is this note? Oh, okay. And then I try to put it in time with them, but because I heard it already in my head, I don't need put an effort to go 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Right. It's already there,
Or I'm gonna come up
I
with
don't need to learn where one is.
I'm gonna come up with something.
It's just right there. That's all there is to it. And then we count. Oh man, that's 7. Or whatever.
Like the one you came up with the other day. You just said it came 5 and it was naturally taped.
Well, I've told students this too. The thing that helps sometimes with odd times is something that Igor sort of taught us while we were writing songs, where we were trying to do this thing, we did it, and then we couldn't do it after that. We forgot it or whatever. It seemed impossible. And then Igor said, no, sing it as a melody. Yeah. Sing the 2 different parts to the time. And we learned how to sing it. And in doing that, it had a shape to it. As opposed to numbers, digits.
Exactly.
So I think that, what we're talking about is shapes. And I think, in particular, Igor's really good at recognizing the shape and saying, okay, well, here's how it works.
It is like, you play a riff and whatever time. So much easier than going, trying to counter.
Right.
Metal guys do that a lot too, right? Like they don't understand that they're playing in odd times.
I know.
They just make riffs and they make another riff and stack it on top and whatever.
The thing is, being a guitar player very often suggests that it's, you're kind of waiting until they start playing lead, right? And but in this band, kind of lead is not necessarily necessary for some songs. We just
Right.
like there is no solo.
Right.
That's
Like, you know, and
that's cool.
this is a song. It just goes like this. You know, does Imagine needs a guitar solo?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't.
It'd be a little better.
should record one.
Perfect. You know, it's
You
just
guys
like
should do
why would you play a guitar solo in there? So it's just
The solo that should have been.
everything. Music tells you everything if you hear. You know,
Right.
and that's all there is to it.
Dude, absolutely, man.
How soon before? I think we just had the name right away. Mike had it.
Yeah, my dad used to talk backwards all the time. He'd be like,
Really?
"Keep NOSRETEP, get the hell in the house," and steal the stuff, and I was,
Really?
yeah, it
That's
was
like
funny.
a family thing.
And yeah, him
Wow,
and his
cool.
brother, my uncle, and then they heard it one time. Probably, I don't know what it was from, but you guys are like, "We should name the band that." I'm going, I don't know.
When
man.
you had the song too, right?
Oh, exactly. Thank you.
From years ago. Was it with Bam Bam?
Yeah, with Bam Bam,
We
played it.
covered that song.
We covered it.
We
Yeah,
added
yeah.
some
What's on
stuff.
the record?
And then
It's called NOSRETEP.
Okay.
Yeah, the song.
And what's the story behind it?
Just like with the song, or
Yeah.
just a riff I had in my head, you know, and then played it in Bam Bam, and we
Bam
played
Bam
it.
was a band.
Yeah, Bam Bam. Yeah, I was in band in town. I was in the band for a while, early '90s there. Been around a long time. It was fun, man.
You
Played-
wrote it, named it
Yeah.
NOSRETEP,
Yeah.
and then,
Then,
years later.
Bringing it again, Sauce, another band I was in was called Sauce, you know, kind of more jazz stuff, and then recorded it again, and then so that name was going on, and then
So you've carried it since like the 70s.
yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
This is
Me and Mick Mars used to hang
taking
out.
a little
no.
while.
And then then it kind of happened, and I go, "You guys want to do that song?" Sure, man. And then kept the name, and
I think they like us more in Tacoma than Seattle.
Tacoma's rad.
Because they love heavy music.
Yeah, totally.
It's a little bit rougher of a town.
Tacoma is a very interesting town.
Yeah, it's
fun,
a little
man. It's
rougher,
fun.
you know, which I think is we're received without that sort of like chin scratching. I don't know if I can like this shit that happens in Seattle.
Pure, yeah, the purists.
Well, there's just
Not
a
too
little bit
pure.
of reservation. There's a little stick up the butt in this town. Not to say that we haven't had a lot of good reception, but I would say I honestly think people in this town are a little uptight. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yep.
1181. What? You weren't around. Oh, I'm upside down. 31811. This is. Here, want to see this?
Sure.
That was disgusting, Michael.
The first tape.
Oh, so it's literally tape.
So this is. Oh yeah.
Really
No,
tapes,
I
yes.
was not being facetious when I said that this guy doesn't own a computer.
Do you have a
He doesn't
tape
have
splicing machine?
Any of that stuff.
No, man, that'd be awesome. I had to repair them, but no, not really. Here we got first deal.
So the drum kit.
Yeah.
You got the Rototom, everything.
Yeah. So I got from my Tom Marriott, man, buddy I play with. He gave me this for my first pedal, so I was like, oh, this thing's badass, you know. Started messing with the digital delay, DDD 6, I think, and then kind of messed with that, and then started kind of getting into that, and then started miking my drum. I guess I've done that a long time before that too. I had a guitar processor, this GP50, you know, and I had that all, you know, different programs and stuff like that, and I had my drums going through that when I
And
used to
so,
live at other place.
and you like glued microphones inside your drum.
Yeah, no, just like got them inside there, like
Right.
Audix, you know, underneath there and stuff like that, and then inside the bass drum, and so then I run them all into the board and through the pedals, in the board, through the pedals into the speaker. And then, yeah, just messed up with that like that, and then we got a lot of weird
Do you
intros
use
into
that-
songs and shit
do
like
you
that.
use that same kit for other projects?
Yeah, I guess so, man.
Like with
Couple, you know.
what's your Ron project?
Yeah, Suffering Fuckheads.
Yeah. So do you use
I
that
started
same?
with him doing that stuff live,
Okay.
you know.
So you have some. So it's like jazz with all that shit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Just
I
have-
never saw you taking the whole pedal board though. You take
yep.
like selected pedals.
Yep. No, I used to take the whole.
You did?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's cool.
Until they got out of control, then they're more addictive than doggone tattoos. So it was like pedals and pedals.
And then when did the sampling become a part of it?
Just stuff we'd come up with for funny stuff, like in between songs, and well, let's have that in there, you know. Or my dad saying shit or whatever, you know.
That started actually with your dad
It did, huh?
saying,
Yeah.
you
Let her
remember
enjoy
you
herself.
found, yeah, you found the recording
Yeah, my
of his
my
dad
was
at some party.
Yeah, we were
saying-
camping, yeah, at Bodega Bay. I was a little kid. And he's like, let her enjoy herself once in her life, damn it, you know? So it's sort of like, just let me kill the intro to a song. Just
The only aim always was to entertain ourselves.
Right.
big
There we go,
expectations, man.
And are there things that you covered in the first album that this next set of tunes is new ground in a very particular way, or do you think that people will find it very different from the first album when?
I think so.
It's
man. I think
different,
so,
yeah, because we changed as a band and we started.
Yeah.
But again, like there's no like intention behind it other than, okay, we're like for right now for some reason we're into really just like heavy stuff or stuff that's like faster, like more thrash. But there was never an intention, or you know the band discovered weed or whatever, and like we got a little more psychedelic, but not.
Yeah.
You know, that's not like trying to be. It's just what happened.
I mean, when people ask you, how do you describe the music?
I hate that straightforward down the rock
Four on
and
the
roll.
floor.
No.
Yeah.
You have to.
What do you like?
You have to use the words with elements of metal.
I know, yeah, really.
And I hate that. Like elements of what?
Now, if you cross a bossa nova with it, then who cares? No, we don't sound like that. No.
Yeah. What could you say? I'll just say, hey, do you know Mike Peterson? And if they do, then I'll say, well, it's like that. If they don't, I'll say, well, it's your loss.
Lots of bossa novas.
I always mention that it's loud. The guitar is mainly distorted, so there will be no expectation of some
yeah.
major
Explain it
chords.
to my mom.
Yeah.
And there are no vocals.
Yeah.
Like warn them right away.
I say it's pretty weird music, that it's instrumental, heavy, and pretty just nuts, pretty screwed up and fun.
Have you ever explained it to your mom?
Yeah, I think so.
Good question.
I think I have.
I mean,
Yeah.
because she's a musician. What does she
She
think?
is.
What is her take on it? Has she ever seen you guys?
I don't think she's seen us or heard us yet. I don't know. We'll have to play a show for my mom.
Also, good point. Explanation often depends of who you're explaining to.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you find like the need to try and contextualize it for people?
It's getting not now, man. Before, at the beginning, it was always like, oh man, what's this new band? Now I'm just like, whatever, man. It's heavy stuff. I think you'll dig it. It's fun. Come and check it out.
I mean, I might have thrown the prog word around.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if we're honest, like I said that I'll say it's like kind of like it's kind of proggy, it's kind of metally, it's kind of like thrashy,
Yeah.
but it's like but it's super fucked up. Like it's really like not. It doesn't fit solidly in those like kind of like boxes.
Yeah.
But I'll say it's definitely rocking, and odd time signatures, changes, crazy drums through live drums through effects and pedals and stuff.
So, like from an ambition standpoint, do you guys
I
like?
have no ambition.
I know.
You give it up.
Yeah.
No, we started. We never had it.
Yeah.
I think because of Nosferatu. Like, does it conjure like
I think
something
people have said that.
otherworldly, dark to you?
Or they'll go, man, it sounds like an Egyptian god. And I'm going, no, it's just my name backwards. They're all, oh.
Well, I think
Then
because
they
of,
walk away. That's lame. No.
yeah, because of like Red Rum
NOSRETEP.
and
Red Rum.
Nosferatu. There's sort of like this, I don't know, some kind of spiritual component.
Yes,
So
I don't
dark.
know. It's funny.
I don't know, and maybe it's because it's painted in blood font on buzzsaws.
Oh right, that kind of makes it seem a little more evil.
It's yin and yang, man. Because it's like
You do-
rad. Because
you
I'm
do
like the T is like a thing across the Lord, so rad. Then all of a sudden you can like think of it as like blood, so it's like yin and yang.
You do the art for the band?
Yeah,
Is that like?
Yeah.
He is an artist.
Oh, thanks,
Right.
man.
Yeah,
Just kinda
that's
messing
how
with
I
it.
see him.
Fonts
as an
and crap.
artist.
Yeah, I mean, these are all you've collected all of these things. That we're gonna do a little tour of the house because
right
it's
on.
pretty.
Shit,
There's a
man.
lot of relics here.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking of Knott's Berry Farm.
Well, I mean,
That's what
Mike
started it.
you used to have Halloween at your house every
Oh
year.
yeah, I
right?
used to go crazy for Halloween.
the local news used to come to Mike's house
Yeah.
every year, and film Mike's house for
Here?
years, right?
Yeah, for
Because
years.
he would do a
yeah.
haunted house at his house.
Yep,
In
yep.
here? Oh my God,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
would be
The
an amazing
actual,
haunted
the
house.
actual
It was
local
nuts.
news, the Seattle news was like Como or something.
Yeah.
Wait,
King
give
Fahd,
us
whatever.
a little backstory on that.
Oh man, I should pull out some photo albums, but when I was a little kid, I just made
That's-
this got a Folgers coffee can head and put it in this body, and then had the head, separate from. I was going, this is so fun. I was scaring kids for Halloween. I did it all the way till I was 40, man. And
Wow.
it's crazy. They made the enclosure and you had to walk through that crap, chainsaw and the whole 9 yards.
Didn't you have like some crazy like Santa Claus with a chainsaw outfit or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the last year I killed Santa Claus when they go to the guillotine, and that was my last year. Then it was over.
The kids all
Wow.
cried.
Yeah, the parents.
Is there-
Society changed.
That's Santa Claus?
Do you
Yeah.
have somebody like guiding them through each room? Do you have people helping you in?
Yeah, a bunch of my students would we call them always my what would I call them? Well, it's the scare team. After I got older, like the same cats, they'd be all like falling asleep, and I'm going, come on, more trick or treaters. They'd be, Come on, man. And I'm like, my scare team's starting to burn out. So I started using them to some of my students. And then one year, holy crap, this one crazy student had he brought 36 pumpkins and he smashed them out with a sledgehammer. And then another kid had a real knife. I got a real knife. Look at this in there. And it's foggy in there. And I'm like, and I got the chainsaw going and you can't see in the strobe lights. And I got warm water in this thing, shooting. So it sounds like I'm cutting. Oh, somebody got cut. And it's warm water going and you couldn't see it. Girls are screaming. And there's freaking doggone candy all over the ground. And then all of a sudden, we had that seven fog machines going on. All of a sudden, big giant spotlight, and there's just the fire department, and somebody's spraying their ankle across the street. Fire department's, who's Mike Peterson? Is he this guy who lives here? And I'm in the thing like a little kid, just sitting there going, I'm not saying jack crap. You come out, Mike, and I'm going, come out. I got this pumpkin on and I wore a pumpkin on my head, so my neck hurt from wearing a real pumpkin, And it was crazy. Turn off that fog machine's going all the way down to I-5. People I-5, they're thinking it's a fire, It was off the hook, so.
Oh my God.
That was one of the last years I think I did it.
You had an industrial fog machine?
No, I had 5 of them going. Brad, my buddy, he had 2. He let me borrow.
Some kids spraying their ankle because of the fog.
Yeah, man. I'll never forget, in the middle of that chaos, this one kid, he had to go through it to get to the candy. And I come out, and this little girl, man, cute as hell with a butterfly costume on, comes up, just looking at me. I'm going, with the chainsaw now. Like, what do you want? You don't scare me, trick or treat. And I'm going, she rules. And I go, just let her in, man. She gets candy. She walked right through and got candy. Didn't have to go through all the stuff.
Wow.
Just walked away, man. I was like, she was the whole night was a badass. hopefully you guys will dig us, man. You got to check us out. Amen.
Oh, it might be where you come from. If where you come from casts a bright light on your news trucks that you made up. Oh, it might just wear you down if your love rubs up on the piss offs and the give ups. Always mix it with the good ones.
What fire springs forth? What bile does bubble? The black moon swings, and the sky stirs trouble. By violent ends, we kill the light. Through the shadows, madness beckons. Wed at night.
1, 2, 3.
I'm Private Shoe Detective Steve Germany. I've got more than a dozen days on the job and I've seen a lot. Nikes, Adidas, New Balance, even goddamn British Knights. Every shoe has a story. This is one of them. Yeah, this is the good stuff. Kicking back in this bed, they call it, watching whatever trifle crap this is. Only thing that could make it any better is to get these bad babies covered. A shoeless foot is the enemy of us all. Ain't it, God? Do you hear me, God? All right, let's get some Gucci on this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This isn't happening. Ah, fuck. Jam slips will have to do. This is bad. Real bad. Shoe dicks can't be losing their own shoes. My empire will crumble. I'm gonna find that Gucci and stick it so far up my own ass, I'll never lose it again. I swear to Christ, Germany. I gotta stop smoking weed at all hours of the day and night. Maybe just day or just night. I feel like The Circle of Life is a really catchy name for a song, but I'm no Bernice Wallets. Welcome into New Orleans. Wait, what do we got here? Some action. Stevie Like just started using bathrooms, so this one is You in here, Gucci? No, just a towel with a stupid smirk on its face. I swear on Mama Germany's prepaid burial site that the second I find this goddamn... Oh, hello, somebody trying to hide? Come here, you little shit. Definitely not scared, definitely not scared, definitely not... This is the ugliest, most drugged out cat I have ever seen. Sorry, kitty. I'll get you some water. The only thing worse than being shoeless is being outside. Seriously, fuck this place. God damn it. Look, I have to walk down there. I never noticed what a shithole this is. Oh, look, I'm crushing it. I wonder if people in Noirland miss me. With blazing space there to fill in, I bet those dummies do. Hey, what just fell? Good Gucci. Look at what a little Romeo you are. I totally forgot that I threw my shoe at a squirrel yesterday and forgot to climb up and get it. Noirland had some strange coincidences, but who could have known that the very shoe I would need would be in a tree right next to me? God, I'm good. So good. Honestly, when I say it like that, I think we should skip past this part. Here we are again, just another case closed. A case no one will ever know about. Just my stories, a shitload of weed, and my baby Gucci's.
My name is Steve Germany. I'm a dick, a private dick. I just find answers. I don't know why they exist, but there's always a victim, and those victims have stories. Be they Converse, Fila, Puma, or Reebok, I'm the one who tells them.
Alright, you disgusting pieces of shit. It's time for Weird at Night. And here's the Big Patty, the Big Barracuda, the cyst with hair and teeth you know and love, Patrick Galactic.
Now wait a minute. Hold on, let me take this off my voice. The Satan choir has been removed from my voice. Wait a minute, Pink Cloud. This is like your second episode on the job, and that was your exact same intro from your last, from the last episode. So, not impressed. You're already phoning it in. This is bullshit.
You're too funny, Patrick. Am I still on? Fuck you. This is a lot of work, buddy. Be happy I'm here.
Whoa.
You were drowning without me.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
no,
you
I
were.
was not. I was
Drowning.
not. No.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm really not sure what I've done to deserve all this. This is clearly an invention of mine that I've created for myself and all of us, the Pink Cloud, but it torments me primarily. But it's nice to see that, though our reality may be a constant and unending nightmare, the Pink Cloud promises so much worse to come. But there is nothing to fear but a windless world, my friends. This is the wellspring of imagination that our collective heads form like Voltron. We're androidal in scope, but coital in delivery, because we're sexy. We're a community, we're not a show. I work hand in hand with incredibly talented people from this community to put together the sketchiest of comedy, the artiest of art shares. And we also talk music, pop culture, and we talk a lot more than those things too. But everyone in this chat and everyone watching right now is just as important as whatever you see on the screen. We're nothing without you, and the ideas that you've given us, your suggestions and comments have made this experience what it is. Make the most of the chat, have a great time. Don't fear the darkness, darling. We're weird, it's night, and you're in the right place. I do take questions throughout the show if you want to at me. I answer most of them at the halfway mark, which is about 30 minutes in. But I do answer some as I see them. That's just exactly what you can expect from your rack on tour and training, Patrick Galactic. Sometimes, occasionally, capable of reading and speaking at the same time, not very often, but just at me throughout the show and I'll read and answer, as I said. So respect for each other and the flow of the show is essential, so don't be a distractor, don't be a spammer, because you're gonna get 86'd by the mod of justice, Alex F&V. So, don't mess with Alex F&V, we all know that. If you follow the channel though, I will stop everything and sing you a little tune. And if you subscribe to the channel, which is the most important and best thing you can do to keep this content flowing effortlessly, I'll stop everything, I'll grab my guitar, and I'll write you a personal little 20-second tune on the air. I do have one person I believe that I need to sing to, so let's do this right. Just so we can also disguise the fact that I would be viciously off key. But this is for Mitch's 72. You have stepped into our world, the one-verse, It's not rehearsed, and I think that is obvious from this song. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of the Waniverse. All of you are people that we want to have aboard. Tomo Project. Oh, okay. Ash Maddie says, how good is that Sovin track? And did you figure out if it's a secret Tomo project or not? I did not figure out whether it's a secret Tomo project or not. If you're curious what that means, we have a feature on the show where we recommend new music almost every episode. We don't tonight because we have so much else to get to. But Nanamucho has a weekly, what would you call that? Twice a week segment where we recommend new music. And Sylvan was one of the particular people that really stood out in the last batch. And we're trying to figure out if it's the secret side project of somebody that we know. So I don't know is the answer, but I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to get the inside dope. Let me just pull up my format here. All right, so NOSRETEP, that was an absolutely cool AV podcast that we got from Astral Media Lab and Andy Sells and Company and NOSRETEP. Just made for a really interesting and fun interview. Great sense of humor. People who've seen literally everything, who have strange musical perversions that that is the kind of crap people like us, the heads, the freaks and the geeks of the world, that's what we enjoy. So it's always awesome to be able to take a band that's not known internationally necessarily and be able to put them in the spotlight and under the spotlight, see how much they shine. So thank you, NOSRETEP, for being a part of that. There will definitely be more of that on its way here on Weird at Night. We will be partnering with Astral Media Lab and others for just one-of-a-kind kind of presentations like this. So we're so happy you've been here. It means the world to me, and means the world for me just to be able to help put it on. You know, it just feels like we're doing something bigger than just ourselves. So that's really cool. Speaking of which, Pam Zamora just released a brand new track called, I believe it's called Billions of Years. I hope I got the song title right. A Billion Years. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Oh, hey, Patrick Tony, you're friends with Matt Jenkins. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the show. It's really nice to have you here. Pam Zamora's new track is called Billions of Years. It is absolutely atmospheric and beautiful, but also very dark instrumental track that is so cerebral. And Pam is somebody that Blazing Space put on my radar. And ever since they got on my radar, they have stayed on my radar. Check out Pam Zamora's releases previously to this and the new song Billions of Years, because it's a really cool listen. Pam, congratulations, as always. Little cottonmouth in the ethersphere tonight. Okay, so Pam Zamora's gonna get the once over there from all of y'all. Speaking of community and people in our community, Blazing Space and I joined our homies over at Noir Grime last night, and as part of their stream, and it was super fun. So if you love listening to Terry Monstrosity murder rhymes, you should definitely hear him ranting about yams. No joke, it's hilarious, creative, and super cool. Make sure to give Noir Grime a follow and tell him Weird at Night sent you. We're dropping a link to them in the chat right now. I see it there. Thank you, Ash Maddie. But that brings me to a question, a community question, which is, what other Twitch streamers do you watch, and who should we know about here? Who would you want the rest of us to know about? I'm always looking for new people to follow on Twitch. And honestly, would love if we want to do some hangs in other people's feeds. If people have suggestions, because that was really fun to do with Blazing Space, and I'd love to do it with more of you. So just at me, and these are questions I will answer at the 30-minute mark. Is the what other Twitch streamers do you watch, and who should we know about? that you think would be cool for us to investigate a little more of. So, now that we've said all of that, I do want to just real quick, because I just haven't for a while, because the world is moving so very fast. Just want to check in and make sure that we do this. Before we start shooting off into the Wannaverse with our zany hijinks, I want to check in. How are we coping with the lockdown? Do any of you have any stories or tips for how you've made yours work for you? As much as I hate being locked down, I have to give all the credit for Weird at Night existing to the lockdown. And I have to give Weird at Night a lot of credit for me not cracking up and just releasing 314-second songs over the last 8 months. But it has been, and it still is hard. And I hope you all are staying true to yourselves, taking ownership of your space and making time for yourselves. I've learned more about that this year than in my entire life up to now. If you don't make the time for you, nobody else can. Make sure that you're checking in with yourself. Make sure you're being real, because we got a lot of love for you, baby. Because it's Weird at Night. And when I say we're a community, I mean it. So if you are struggling, you are having any kind of trouble, it's okay to talk about it in the chat if you want to. It's okay to hit us up privately. And it's okay to just come back and hang out and enjoy, because that's what we're here for. It's for the heads, the creatives, and the artists to just commune together late at night and have some fun. Hey, we got a new follow here from Bryce and the Alien. Thank you for following the channel. All right. Okay, so we got a lot to do here. We got a lot. Okay, so coming up, we have a very cool night of very cool and weird delights to share. So we'll hear Lorbo, Blazing Spaces band on the other side of Noirland. We got more of Blazing Spaces, Art Lost and Found. We got album recs and a bunch more, but first, you know what we're gonna do, so we better do it.
Salute when you see me, I'm straight from the sky. I'm repping the nine, I never been tedious, gracing the God flow. Beating is not in your eyes, bro. And I'm gonna be me, lion growl. Sign of the Phoenix, Simon Cow. But I'm gonna mean it, right near like me, Sir Mix-a-Lot. With different thoughts on how to interpret distance logs. Chandelier shed light on pensive plots. No risk of the meager, Kyle Seeger locked the hot corner. Rescinding shots, wild eager not to stop warners. Keep it cursed, speech patterns in my conversation. The truth hurts and the latter's what I'm fond of facing. Burst violent when the problems cave in. Cause the strength gained through it may resolve the weight. Take a ticket, clock ticking, all time is patience. But if we be that, don't we honor hate? Purgatorial probation of honest takes. I'm concerned with the novation of promised greatness.
All right, so we're back. Oh, I need to turn this music back on. Damn it! It's always something, you know. You just can't think of everything all the time, folks. But there we go. Sometimes a problem, even if it's an annoying one, is easily remedied and not worth freaking out about. So, make sure to check out Not For Sale's new album Mendacity on December 4th. That was a little preview. It sounds dope. Not For Sale is been so generous with letting us use their music on the show, and it's amazing stuff. So please go check that out. Buy music from Not For Sale. We are dropping a link to that in the chat. And speaking of Terry Monstrosity, once again, I'm going to give a shout out to Rentnam, a collective of artists and streamers, including Terry, that just started up. They do painting. It's live art. It's really cool. If we're about art, then Rentnam is like right there. You know, we're made to go together, baby. So go check out Rentnam and give them your support, because they're definitely worth supporting. So, as you can see, I'm a musician, and on this show, we really treasure musicians. So if you're a musician or you know someone who is, and you want to give a special performance of some type, right now it's kind of hands off because of the COVID situation. Tell some road stories, share unreleased music. We have a ton of people who just film stuff on their phone and send it in. It's really not hard to do, and you can get some really great quality performances this way. We don't want to make it difficult. What we want to do is give a space to musicians. Email your ideas to me at weirdatnight@gmail.com. Again, that's weirdatnight@gmail.com. You can also message us here, and me or someone on the crew will be happy to try to come up with something for you, or with you, collaborate on an idea. So, it's with that said that we're about to watch a performance from Lorbo. Who is Lorbo? Well, Lorbo is the band that you saw last week in Blazing Space's amazing, epic, it laughed this past week on Tuesday. Blazing Space's amazing, epic journey into Noirland. But this is Lorbo with Skerrick fronting the band, and this particular brand of insanity that I stand in admiration of, ultimately. So, hope you enjoy. Whoa. Wow. Thank you, Lorbo, for sharing that track with us. I want to correct myself. I misspoke when I introduced that track. I said that was the band that did Blazing Space, that was in Blazing Space's segment on Tuesday. That's not correct. That was Lorbo, which is a band of Brad Moen, Lupe Flores, and Scarrick, who is also involved in the other thing. So, my apologies, but definitely check out Lorbo and check out that full performance. That's just the beginning of what was an hour of, as Blazing Space put it, glorious madness. So check out that full length. Go check out Give Lorbo the Love. That's exactly the kind of strangeness that is right up our alley here on Weird at Night. So thank you very much for sharing that with us, but we got to pay some bills real quick.
Reality is a conspiracy because it's not what I've been telling myself it is my entire life without research.
Insecurity. Distrust you can trust. Don's long gone lawns. Don takes acid and plays with knives on your lawn. God is in the grass, man. Use promo code 129-777-777-999-125. Something will happen. Guaranteed. $10 payable in acid. No talking, and keep the kids and pets inside. Just always inside. And then Shitty's Pizza. Come on, the hospital's next door. You all know why. Just have a slice if you don't. Use promo code Why God Do We Suffer. We hire the hairiest people so we can maximize the value of this free depubing. Normally $4.99. Limit 1 per customer. It's on the corner of 9th and Nocturnal Drive. Just past the memory of your first fully charged smartphone. All right, we're at about the halfway mark, and it's been a great show so far. And very happy to be here with you all. I'm just going through the chat. Blazing Space recommended Twitch streamers Louis Vega, Sushi Dragon, and Big Building. And Ash Matty seconded Big Building. That is those are all great streams and highly recommended by the crew here. And streams that I need to check out too. I did check out Louis Vega's stream and can vouch. It is absolutely awesome. If you just love the spirit of music and you just want to celebrate music, Louis Vega's got you covered. So there's so much triumph in it and so much kind of emotion and glory in it. So make sure you check out Louis' stream there. It's worldwide as well. Bryson the Alien shared a link to their project, I assume. And thanks for doing that, Bryson. Did you come here from our Twitter feed or our Twitter stream encouraging bands to do that? I'd be curious to know. Going through to see if there's any other questions. It doesn't really look like there are, so we're just going to plow right ahead because we still have so much to do. So here we go. There's always time for commas. Just wanted to remind you that if you're enjoying the show and you want to support us somehow, you can certainly do it at the Shop of Juan. That is Shop of Juan, WAN, weirdatnight.com. So shopofjuan.com. You can buy some t-shirts. We have a mug commemorating this exact episode that you're currently watching. So if this moment of your life is worth 15 smackers, you can go drop them over at the shopofjuan.com. We also have an artist studio over there that features t-shirts and merch with designs by artists that have been on the show. And supporting, buying those products will go 100% to the artists that you support. So it's a great way to do it. And because you're here with us live, we want to make it worth your while. So use promo code Double Feature 60 because it's episode 60 and we had a double feature tonight. I know, very clever. You get 10% off store-wide until next Saturday. So use promo code Double Feature 60, get 10% off store-wide until Saturday, December 4th. All right, Jesus Christ, we're just moving along at a one hell of a clip. Yes. Oh, and don't forget, the highlight of the story at this moment is these two t-shirts featuring the distinct message, moderate me, Alex F&V. Alex F&V has received her t-shirt. So Alex, can you vouch for this shirt? Let us know in the chat. I'm going to keep on moving. So, bum bum bum. Welcome to the second half of the show. We still have a ton to share. I hope you're enjoying tonight as much as I am. We still have some album recs. I got a couple tunes to play for you. And we're gonna do some automatic writing. But now we gotta make the trek to Noirland and see what's going on. And the first thing I wanna do is go through a little Weird at Night history real quick. You saw at the top of the show, our resident shoe detective, Steve Germany's on the loose. And I thought I'd give you a little context for that now that I've thoroughly confused you. So, on July 11th of this year, I was vortexed by Blazin' Space, who simply wanted to host an album Rex segment and that week, and I was like, the Blazin' Space was all like, I know, and it's all good. Except Blazin' Space opened a fucking vortex, and just 3 days later, on July 14th, shitty shoe detective Steve Germany made his first appearance. How ironic that a mere 4 months later, the Blazin' Space opening a fucking vortex to contact Steve Germany would leave us open to our next round of insane fun intrusions. Speaking of Blazin', are you out there? Blazin'?
It's been a while since we last met. But I know you're still out there.
Well, if there's anything I've learned in Noirland, it's that a star is a burning sun, and everyone is a star. The star of the story has to struggle, and there's no good story without conflict, because all of us experience conflict, and we experience resolution. But how many of us remember that true principle that all conflicts hold within them a resolution? All paradoxes can be reconciled. I saw many endings for myself, divergent paths in an open forest, and of all endings, an infinite beginning here, in silver, in voiceover, in an office I can never leave, where one man taught Noirland everything they'd ever need to know about failure, Steve Germany. Yeah, I've heard a lot about him, but that was a long time ago. You see, when art gets lost on the internet, when a stream ends, when an album falls out of its ideal release window, when marketability turns a cold shoulder, when the viewer count slows and the readership fades away, when the paintings gather dust and the stories are saved under confusing file names. When art gets lost, well, someone's gotta find it. And that's why I'm here. My name's Blazin' Space, and this is the Lost and Found of Noirland. You are listening to music from Not For Sale, an incredible artist striving to create music that is both therapeutic and inspirational. I'm sorry, but if you want it fast, shiny, obvious, perfectly packaged, and explained, it won't be true. When you're graced with true art coming into your life, support those creators. Let their art improve your life. Listen, watch, enjoy. Join the dance. Buy music from Not For Sale. You see, I feel for the poet. It's very hard for all poets. There's only a small slice of an industry to validate their commitment to craft. So the better ones find their channel and exhibitional outlet and keep creating. But because the window to be successful, read, listened to, or even cared about is so small, Most create in obscurity. An easy out of obscurity is pretending that you are an undiscovered genius, and thus act like an Orson Welles or drunken playwright with a chip on their shoulder, that their voice is too true or too intellectual, or just makes no sense to the rest of the world. When the truth is, those folks don't exhibit their art to protect that lie. And in reality, they have no idea where they stand, or how good they are, or if it matters. So the drinking and the pontification commence, and the obscurity and the isolation deepens. And if the rest of the world is lucky, the pen hits the page. Make things. Share things. You have a mind that knows it's a mind. Imagination's greatest gift is that you can create something new without destroying anything old. By mentally creating, we can add things to a world which otherwise can only be transformed or converted. Our minds can be the secret to our destruction or our salvation. So look after your mind. Give it space, give it emptiness, give it positive thinking, give it love. Let it hear others, let it learn, let it speak if it speaks honestly. And if your mind lies to you, examine that lie. Imagination is like gravity. All it takes is a little push. The monsters of Noirland are the same monsters I fought on Earth. Anxiety monsters. Anxiety monsters love to eat other monsters and grow bigger. Anxiety monsters don't team up with anything positive. They turn everything future dark. Monsters need to be defeated. They are negative and they are hungry. Here's what I tell myself. I am creative and I fill voids. I won't feed the monster with another monster. I will not fill monster voids. I will not fill monster voids. I will build more space. I can create from nothing. I don't need a monster. I love and accept myself, and I love and accept how I feel about this. You all have what it takes to make it through Noirland. A client entered my office today on foot and not by sea. She called herself Naomi, Naomi Biomi Fiomi, and she had found a piece of art lost to many. I love when other people do my job. Please enjoy this lost art now, discovered again, NOSRETEP and Ubadulu, live at Parliament Tavern.
All right. Well, Blazing Space seems to be making the most of Noirland, and maybe there's some parallels to the black and white world that we sometimes find ourselves in, perhaps. Maybe that advice that Blazing Space gives is not simply applicable to Noirland, perhaps. No matter how you slice it, it was a great piece of business. Thank you, Blazing Space. Always so grateful to have your voice on this show. Well, I got some album recs for you real quick. And we're gonna start with Air. Air is a French electro awesome band. This album is called Moon Safari. It came out, I believe, in the early 2000s. It is a fantastic album of texture and whimsy. There's a healthy amount of whimsy on this record. So make sure you check out Moon Safari. If you love French techno from anyone, even people with helmets on perhaps, Air is gonna hit you somewhere in your wheelhouse. So check it out. Next, okay, now, You know how fired up I get about guitar instrumental records, right? Like I love Joe Satriani and people who are just gonna show me how much shit they can do on a guitar for an hour. No, I hate those things. And somehow I came across Blow by Blow by Jeff Beck, record made in the maybe 77-ish era, a bit of a reinvention for Jeff Beck, infusing jazz and funk into the work. The reason that I love this record, though, is because Jeff Beck doesn't take center stage throughout the whole thing. He really plays tastefully. The funk and the groove on this record is outstanding. I think when I had heard this record initially as a teenager, there was just so much about it that the reference points I didn't understand yet. But this record actually blew me away. I listened to the whole thing and couldn't believe how much I enjoyed it. So check out Blow by Blow by Jeff Beck. It's really a great listen. And then finally, Black Up by Shabazz Palaces. This is a record that came out, I believe, in 2010-ish, 2009 maybe. And it was Shabazz Palaces, kind of the avant-garde of the psychedelic hip-hop music community and the vanguard of such. Was kind of around when I at least first heard of them, and Black Up, I believe, was the only thing that was released at the time. This is their first, or one of their very first releases, and it's a little more to the point. It's a little more direct than they've become. They have become vastly more experimental and psychedelic as they've gone on, and it's still very good, but this is very focused and very sharpened. So Black Up by Shabazz Palaces, you really can't go wrong listening to that one. And they have a lot of other great releases too that you can listen to as well. But you can listen to all these releases plus all the other releases we've ever recommended on the Weird at Night Selects playlist on Spotify. We don't think Spotify is the answer here to supporting artists. Make sure you buy music from artists. But if you're using Spotify, check out these releases. Give the playlist a follow and let us know what you think. Ash Matty told me that I needed to ask him what he thought of the newer releases that I've recommended on his walks that he's been listening to lately. So Ash Matty, let us have it if you want to. Let me have it if you want to. But just go join the party over on Spotify. It is a lot of fun to go back and kind of go back through these. But I would like to serenade you all because I have a guitar in my hand and a stream. So I'm going to do it. This song is called The Glory of the Sun. This goes out to everyone. Only to the One Select playlist. Don't listen to anything else on Spotify.
Sleepless baby, southern boy, cradled by a wave.
All right. We're getting to the end of the road, and I'm really, really glad that we got this chance to hang out tonight. Tuesday and Saturday nights are the whole reason I exist these days. And sharing this time with you all and getting your feedback is really, really amazing. So thank you so much for being a part of it. Thank you to NOSRETEP. Thank you to Astro Media Lab. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Blazing Space for putting so much together, not just for Astro Media, but also for Weird at Night. We'd be nowhere without you. So thank you all very much. What we're going to do real quick before we adjourn is a quick auto write. So I'm going to count down from 10. And as I do, try to clear your mind. When I say go at the end of the count, you start writing in the chat. When I say stop, we all hit return or enter or whatever it says on your computer. And then I read them aloud and we share them with each other and we have a good laugh and then we go the fuck home. And after this, just real quick, if you want to hang out in voice chat after this, which is sometimes very fun, and sometimes we just all hang out for 15 minutes and realize nobody has anything to say and we all leave. But one way or the other, join our Discord and join the community. It's a cool way to stay in touch throughout the week. We talk about events. We talk about recommendations for the show. We have all kinds of stuff going on in there, and there's always more we can do. So you got to join the party in order for it to happen. So I'm going to count down from 10 now, okay? 10, 9, 8, 10, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Okay, stop. Hit return, hit enter, whatever you're hitting. All right, I'm going to get going. This is what I wrote. This is so fun. I wish I was live, but instead I'm alive. But oh well. I caught myself mouth breathing on camera tonight. It's true, I did. I bet you've all seen me do it a lot. Don't agree. It will only destroy me. Anomic 84. This is my first time having money during Black Friday, and I can't stop. I got Arturia V-Sense and too much other stuff. Man, I wonder what living alone is like. I bet it's nice and quiet. All valid points. Blazing Space. Blurry fizzle, fizz gig, smash ball, rar, rar, deep humming darkness, swelling, grifting, grinding gears, turning to be smoothed later. By the sun, after ever left past gone tomorrow. Alex FMV. Beep boop. I saw a wizard in a tree in a dream, and he said to me that there's only one simple people on this land. Ash Matty. Oh no, here we go. Illy Bill, take a chili pill. Psilocybin now good for the brain, I'm told. Thank you, Jesus, for saving some people. I eat farts. Well, I don't think there's going to be a way to top that, kids. So thank you all for being a part of this amazing art share experience. We're live every Tuesday and Saturday night. We put these double features together as often as possible. And really the goal is to bring art to you and represent art from the artist's point of view, not any of the other side external bullshit that's connected to art. We just talk about the real deal, baby. Because we're weird at night, and you're weird at night, and I'm weird at night, and I'm gonna get off this goddamn stream now because it's driving me crazy. You can see that. Do you want to join me in the Discord? I'll be there. Voice chat. Join. Love ya. See you Tuesday. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, White. 631 for the follow. Okay, good night.
1, 2, 3.